Hey guys, what's up? It's Laura and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who may be new, I'm so excited to have you on my channel today, and I hope that you'll stick around by just clicking the subscribe button. If you are on a computer, you can click right here, or if you are on your mobile device, just click down below where it says subscribe. It's completely free. All it means is that you won't miss out anytime I post a video in the future. You will always be notified. For today's video, I thought it would be cool if I just kind of switched up my environment. I just hopped into my bed. Sounds weird, but we're in my room. I figured it'd be nice to have a different background. And because today's video is pretty chill, I figured that we could just chill and chat and talk together and it'd be fun. The idea for today's video was just to be like a little Q&A. So I took some of my most favorite asked questions in the past few videos. I didn't go back too far because I usually try my best to comment and respond to you guys when I can. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, all you have to do is just ask me any questions you want to know, and it can be about anything, whether it's beauty related, lifestyle, fashion, or just everyday life advice. I'd love to be here to kind of be like your older sister or your good friend. We could just chat and we can make this like a thing, and I could like just talk to you guys and you'd be like, oh wow, I never knew that, or I never thought of that. I'd be like, yeah, same. So without any more random chatter, I have the questions on my phone, so I'm just gonna obviously go over there and answer the questions that I got asked. All right, so the first question is coming from Liz T, and this was on my How to Take Risks video, I believe, and I'll link the videos that I talk about down below so you guys can see them. And also, just before we get started, my cat like wants to get in, but she's not getting in because she attacks my drapes, and it's the most obnoxious thing of life trying to film this. Like, I've tried to film videos the past couple days and my dog and cat have been like psycho spaz balls. So if you hear any noises, that's her just clawing at the door. So Liz T said, hi, I came across your channel and the feelings you describe are exactly how I'm feeling. I'm going to graduate college next semester and it's a perfect time for me to finally make this change for myself. Sorry, I have to like scroll because I screenshot them and then they don't fit on my phone. I want to move to Florida, but I don't know anyone. So what are some ways that you made friends, and do you like the Fort Lauderdale area? First of all, I'm actually in Fort Myers. I'm not in Fort Lauderdale. I did grow up in Sarasota, Florida. If you've seen my past videos, I've talked about it. When I was like 2 years old till about 10, I lived in Sarasota, Florida, which is about an hour and a half north of where I am now in Florida. I would recommend checking out Sarasota just for the sheer fact that I might be a little bit biased, but their beach, Siesta Key Beach, is like my most favorite beach in the world. The sand there feels like someone just dumped a huge, giant container of baby powder out, and then you're just like, you get to walk all over its soft goodness. It's like the best thing ever. The number one like selling point for me is no snow equals I'll go. I just made that up. That's my slogan. Okay, that was weird. I moved here because my good friend and her family already lived down here. I went to high school with her in Woodstock, Illinois, where I lived, and then they moved down, and I came to visit last June, literally a year ago from when I'm filming this. So obviously that's what I did, and I'm here now, and I'm loving it a year later. It's like the best thing ever. So her next question that she was wondering is, how did I make friends? I don't have any friends, guys. I'm just kidding. So basically, I came down here not knowing anyone other than my best friend from high school. So I kind of had to meet the people that she already knew through her work, and then I had a job lined up. So when I got that job at the salon, I was meeting girls that way, but I never really had anyone that I knew prior to coming here. So I had to just kind of put myself out there. I met people if we would go out like for drinks or dinner. I would just meet people by just talking to them. I'm naturally a fairly outgoing person, so I didn't really have too hard of a time like talking to people, but I'm still building my network of people that I know down here. It's definitely a process when you're starting like completely fresh. So I would just say be brave, put yourself out there. There's a ton of people that I've met this far that aren't from here either. They're all new as well. So that makes it a lot easier when you're kind of like trying to talk to people. It's not like everyone here just automatically knows each other. There's a good amount of people that I've met that are from like New York or Minnesota, Wisconsin, even a girl that I met who was only like 20 minutes from where I grew up, which is crazy. So it is a small world. at the end of the day. And I would say just being kind, being outgoing, friendly to people, that's really how you're gonna make friends no matter where you go. So the next question I got is from Sabrina Franco, and she said, did you have a job set up when you moved out there? It's one of my biggest concerns, but I'm just dying to move already. So I agree with you, Sabrina. When I kind of got that unction and that fire under my butt that I wanted to move, nothing was gonna stop me, not even the fact that I didn't even have a job, didn't know anyone, didn't have an apartment lined up. It was pretty crazy. My parents were like, are you out of your mind? So really, my first response to that question is I did have a job lined up, but it wasn't like a secure, like I got the job. It was just an interview. So what I did the day that I decided I wanted to move, I got on Indeed.com. I just started looking through any type of field that I'd be interested in going into. And I found a job with Aveda Salon, which is an amazing salon. I got a call the next day, and then she ended up basically scheduling me for an interview to come in like 2 weeks after I was planning on moving down. So I decided I was gonna be moving down the first week of August. I ended up getting to my apartment August 6th, and then I had an interview like 2 weeks later, and I ended up getting the job. So it was just the front desk, booking appointments, scheduling, all of that type of thing. And now here I am working from home, doing photo, video, editing, and really focusing on my YouTube channel at the moment. So I would just say, of course, you don't want to be foolish and move down and have absolutely no savings, nothing, because that could definitely put a lot of stress on you. I would recommend doing your research as far as job opportunities go. There's always something for someone. It just depends how hard you're willing to look for it, and then how hard you're willing to work once you possibly get that call for an interview. And all you can do is try, and if that doesn't work out, obviously if I didn't get the job, I would keep looking, but it wasn't gonna stop me from coming down here because I'm so happy that I decided to do that. So the next question I got, I really liked. It's from a guy, Todd Jerleman, and he said, Laura, please give me your thoughts. Are the humidity and bugs worth mild winters and being near the ocean? Live in Minnesota, thinking about the St. Pete area near the beach. Thanks, Todd. I would say without a doubt 100% anything is worth a mild winter. I just personally do not like the cold. If you're someone like me and you just hate winters, you would absolutely love the winters that Florida affords you, because you can wear a nice thin little sweater at night and you're good to go. Like, it's the most comfy weather ever. Like, I can't even explain it. So the humidity to me is not bad. To other people, I've heard that it's just like the worst thing in the world. They can't wait to get home if they're here on vacation. And for me, I grew up in it for like pretty much half my life, so it never really bothered me. I do obviously feel hot, and I feel like when I walk outside, it feels like I'm like taking a second shower, but for me personally, it doesn't bother me nearly as bad as I think it does some other people. And I would say the bugs, they do bother me. I mean, our back balcony area, they didn't screen in for whatever reason, I'm not really sure, but there's bugs everywhere. So when I first moved in, it was just like a nice little space where I could go and read or have some tea and just kind of chill. And now it's just become like this breeding ground for just disgusting like flies, gnats, bugs. It's gross. So yeah, the bugs here are gross, but I mean, really there's bugs anywhere. There's bugs in Chicago. I don't really notice the difference too much. And other than cockroaches, there have been a few cockroaches in our apartment. I don't know why, don't ask me, but now we have like cockroach traps everywhere because it's just like disturbing that there's gonna be a cockroach like all of a sudden like on my face. Long story short, I would say that for me personally, it is completely worth it to have, you know, September, October time roll around and it just be the most beautiful weather like I've ever been in. So this question was on my, I think 2 videos ago. I don't know what order I'm gonna post. I have a summer makeup routine coming. I posted a video for a music cover of Dan and Shay's From the Ground Up. Love that song. If you haven't seen my cover of that, I'll link it down below. But Sierra Kensington said, so beautiful, you sound amazing. Definitely post more. Thank you so much, you're the sweetest. And she said, do you also write your own music? So yes, I do actually. As I mentioned, I went to school for vocal performance with like a music concentration and focused in like the contemporary urban popular music. That's really long. Basically, yes, I studied intensely songwriting, and that was what I fell in love with when I was in school. I absolutely loved the idea of learning how to string words together and rhyme and just make people feel through your words. That's like my most favorite thing. I've always loved words. I always wrote really long, extensive cards for my parents when I was little, for my friends, and I love writing songs. So I would definitely say in the future, I would absolutely love to be a songwriter. I don't exactly like have a clear defined path of how I would make that happen, whether I'd be writing for myself or for other artists, but I do think that it would be something I'd definitely be very passionate about and enjoy thoroughly. Another question I got comes from Sierra and Matthew. So I believe they're a couple and I think they vlog. I'll have to check you guys out, but I want to say I clicked on your channel and saw that. She said, I've been watching your vlogs. I love them. Thank you so much. She said, do you ever go to Disney World now that you're in Florida? Sierra. So strangely enough, I have not been to Disney World the entire year I've lived here in Florida. Well, almost a year. I think that's insane. I don't understand why I haven't been to Disney World, but I just haven't. I think life has just been happening and I've been busy and I just haven't been to Disney World. But the last time I was there was probably 2 years ago in January. I was getting back from a cruise with my family and we had like 3 days left in Orlando, I believe we were in. So my dad was like, what should we do? And I was like, let's go to Disney World. And so we randomly just went, but we only had like 1 day there. Obviously, for those of you who've been to Disney World, you can't completely get through all the parks and the different like attractions. So it was just too rushed for me. I need to definitely make a point to go back and I want to plan a trip to Disney very soon. It's just a little bit hard with my pets, but I feel like once my parents are down here, maybe they'll lend a hand and watch my dog and it'll be a good time to go. So the last question from my YouTube channel that I'm gonna pull from is from Coral White, and I've seen your name a couple times on my channel, so if your name is really Coral, that's legit. I wish my name was Coral and your last name's White, like 2 colors, that's legit. She said, can you do an apartment tour please and more vlogs? Seriously, I love those. I seriously love you, thank you. I love vlogging, so I definitely plan to continue vlogging. I've said in previous videos that I wanna know if you guys want like daily vlogs, and if that's the case, I think I should make a second channel, but I wanna know from your perspective if you guys would want daily vlogs or if you just want more of like a weekly like wrap up vlog of just kind of things I did throughout the week. But I would absolutely love to vlog. It's like one of my favorite things to do just because me personally, I love memories. I love looking back on things that I do in my life and documenting them to kind of look at in the future. So I agree with you. I love doing them. Apartment tour. Okay, so funny story. As you can see, my room is still bare, and you guys know that in the past I said I would do an apartment tour. Well, the reason I have not done an apartment tour thus far is because probably I would say around like January of this year, I realized I don't want to live in this building. All I want to say is that I knew that I was going to be looking for a different location to live. So I never ended up fully like finishing off like the decorating process, but whatever, I just kind of sucked it up and I'm dealing with it until I can move because I've found the cutest, most perfect flat in the cutest community. And funny story again, it is in the community that my parents purchased a home in. So when you first pull through the gate, there's all these cute little townhomes and flats. That's where I'm gonna be. And then if you go further in and then like all the way down a road, that's where the homes start. And that's where my parents are building their home. So we're gonna be a big ol' happy family again. But I just figured, A, it's the coolest community. They have a movie theater, they have an amazing gym, a pub, restaurant, ice cream parlor, a amazing resort style pool with the cutest little tiki bar with a DJ and live music. It's just like, I don't even believe that it's a community. So my plan is that in like mid-July, I believe I'll begin to be able to move in there and I'm gonna start decorating. I already have been accumulating pieces and things for the walls, stuff like that. So I'll give you guys like an empty apartment tour so you can just see the flat and like what it looks like. And then I'll do like a tour of the actual cute little town that's like inside of this community. It's so crazy, you'll see what I'm talking about. But as I begin to decorate and all of that, I think I'll do like a video series of decorating my apartment. So I promise you guys this will be coming to you when I move, but as far as filming this, I just don't think I'm gonna do a tour. I'm just not happy with the layout. Apartment tour coming soon. summer of 2016, July, August time frame. Cool. Okay, so the very last question I wanted to answer comes from my Instagram, and one of my most favorite subscribers, just kidding, all of you guys are my favorite, but this woman has been there from like day one, it seems like. But I always see her name on, like, she's like the first one to comment, first one to be on my Instagram. She's always so encouraging and sweet and uplifting. I feel like I know her even though I don't, but her name is Rena Rollins, and she recently moved to Florida as well. But she said, "Hey Laura, my son has mild autism and started playing piano at 3 years old. We started lessons at 5, he asked to quit, and we let him. Did your parents have to push you to keep going, or did you always just love learning piano?" So first of all, I thought this was such a cool question because I am the biggest advocate when it comes to kids and music and the arts. I first of all just think it's completely insane and asinine that schools and like groups and camps and stuff like that would ever even consider taking music or art out of the equation. Like, it just doesn't even make logical sense to me because it's such a big part in my life, and I know it's made me who I am today. I just thought that was awesome that with her son having autism, music is such a healing tool. I really had a huge interest as I unfortunately was graduating college, so I'd already kind of wrapped up my degree, but I started thinking how cool it would have been to go for music therapy. But I just thought that music therapy would be so cool because music is therapy. I 100% agree. No matter what the level of trauma is, whether it was an accident, whether they were born with the disease or the mental disability, I just think that music and the arts is so healing in so many ways, even for myself, that I just think that's awesome. So kudos to you for getting him involved in music at an early age. I would say that my parents started me at age 5 in piano because I think that from an early age, like younger than that, they definitely saw that I was gravitating towards music. I've seen old home videos. I was always the kid with like the little miniature keyboard, and I would be like at Thanksgiving or Christmas with the whole family, and they'd be like, "Laura, like play us some songs," and I'd be like, "Okay." Like I was like their little, just like, I'm just little playing monkey. So they noticed that, and so I think that they just let that direction they let me kind of go down my own path, so to speak. And so by the time I was 5, it was time where I could actually like comprehend and start learning like notation and reading music and that type of stuff. So they put me in the Suzuki School of Music. I remember just absolutely hating it. I've never been like really into like math, science. I don't know. I'm just a very artsy, free spirit. I do things kind of my own way. I think of things differently, I feel like, than a lot of people. And so when it came to learning piano, this woman obviously was very rigid, had a specific way to teach me, but just the way that I learned, it wasn't working for me. So I remember I always played by ear. So anytime I heard like a movie soundtrack or a song on the radio or CD, anything like that, I would be able to pick it up, go home, and play it on the piano. And I was so thankful for it, but it definitely made learning to read music very hard because instead of actually, taking the time to learn, oh, that's C note, that's bass clef, treble clef, all of that, it was much easier for me to just kind of feel the music and just kind of play it for what it was. What I began to realize was it was way harder for me to learn to read music and to kind of fit into the box that these teachers wanted to put me in, even though I stayed with piano from age 5 till probably 12 or 13 was when I completely stopped with any actual formal piano lessons. And so once I kind of wrapped on that, I turned a lot of my focus onto guitar. And that was when I picked up guitar and realized that I really loved playing guitar, and everything I learned from piano really helped me translate it over that way. And then I just completely fell in love with music and decided that I was going to take voice lessons and guitar lessons, and then I obviously ended up majoring in vocal performance for college. So my point of the story is, if he wants to quit, if he's not into it right now, that's okay. I'm not going to try and pretend like I have kids or I'm a mom, because I don't have like technical parental advice. All I would say is, from my personal experience, my parents never forced anything. They really just kind of let me decide what it was I was interested in. Yes, they tried me in like many facets of things in life. So I did sports, I did music, all types of stuff, and then it kind of just helped me decipher and decide what it was exactly that I like to do. So for your son specifically, I would say he's just a little guy. I mean, he probably doesn't like it right now because what 3-year-old really wants to sit down at a piano and learn and all that stuff? I feel like maybe as he gets older, if it is something that he would want to do and he's passionate about, he'll go back to it for sure. Even myself, anytime I've decided to kind of step away from music, I always find my way back. So I think definitely it was right of you to let him quit. That's just my opinion. Because if you force any kid to do something, it's always going to become work and something they don't like and something they resent. So there's nothing wrong with encouraging someone and telling them, you know, they can do it and that you're proud of them and all that type of stuff, but to actually force them and say, like, give them consequences for not sitting at the piano or punish them, I don't think that's a good way to go about things. I think that's just gonna make them probably not really like you and probably not really like the activity or thing that they're doing or you're forcing them to be involved in. So I would say just let him find his way and he'll definitely make the right decisions. So I hope these questions and answers were interesting to you guys. Again, like I said, I'd love to make this like a total cool little series on my channel, and I could do one like a few times a month or something, or twice a month, I don't know. But just leave me your questions down below or on my Instagram. It's just @LauraForney, and I will be sure to always be checking those out, screenshotting them, and saving them up for a rainy day when I do another Q&A. But I hope that this one was insightful. You learned a little bit more about me. I do want to say that I hope you guys know how important and special you all are. If no one's told you that lately or you're feeling down, I want you to know that this too shall pass. Honestly, it's something that I've been replaying in my head for several weeks now, because sometimes when life gets hard, it feels like there's like no point and it's just like you're so bummed out and frustrated. But I just want to encourage you guys that I know how it feels. I know that it sometimes feels like no one understands what you're going through, and you don't even feel like venting to anyone at a certain point because it's just like they won't understand. But if you guys ever have any questions and you don't feel comfortable leaving it in a comment, you can always like direct message me on Instagram or on my Facebook page. You can message me, and I'd love to just be there as someone you guys could talk to and vent to, and just let you know that you're going to get through it. You will get through it. You just have to stay strong and believe in yourself and believe that there's a little fighter in you that's gonna come out swinging and make it through any obstacle that you may be currently faced with. I just wanted to say that, and not to get too deep, but I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I will be seeing you all in my next video. Bye guys.